Disney is broke. Well,
No.
not exactly, but they might as well be.
They're broke in other ways, but that's another story.
They are broke in other ways. Disney is not planning another Marvel or Star Wars level acquisition anytime soon because they spent a lot of money. And I don't think they're seeing a return on their biggest investment yet, which is Fox. They're not getting the ROI, the return on investment from Fox. In fact, I'm looking at the Fox situation. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that was really a good use of $70-some billion.
$71 billion.
Billion dollars. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the crazy amounts of money that Disney spent to grow. We're going to talk about why they even bought Fox, because they're vaulting the movies.
And they canceled a lot of the ones that are in production, didn't they?
And they canceled a lot of the movies in production. So what did they buy exactly? That's a damn good question.
Did they use it to try to write it off?
I don't know.
For tax reasons, like, oh, we have to stop all this stuff because we lost. Oh, we're blaming Fox for. They're blaming Fox for Dark Phoenix and all this stuff, even though some of the things they did might have led to it not, having some trouble and stuff. But it's a write-off for them. Is this one thing, one giant write-off?
I don't know. There's a lot of things that don't make sense with Fox. I mean, I'm sure if some more business-minded people took a look at it, they might start to see some red flags. But you know what? If they said something, they get fired from the company.
Well, we already see this with other things like
we've seen
SEC
this
and,
with the SEC. But anyway, we're going to take a look at how Disney probably doesn't even have the money to go buy any other major corporations.
Well, good. That's good news
now.
Because Bob Iger says that until he leaves, he has no plans to buy anything large.
So congratulations if you're working for some company in the entertainment industry. Disney's going to leave you alone.
You're safe for now.
You're safe for now. You're not going to get the white glove of Mickey is not going to tap you on the shoulder.
The white glove treatment.
White glove treatment. You're not going to get Mickey's white glove treatment anytime soon because they're going to stop buying things. So before we get into the video, please subscribe if you have not done so already. We hit, thank you very much, 70,000.
Yay!
70,000 subs. We're hoping for 100,000 soon. Now, make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube, being YouTube, there's some shenanigans going on this week where they're doing their semi-annual dead subscriber purge. The problem is not all the subscribers they're purging are dead accounts. We've had some people complain that they were unsubscribed. No, we did not unsubscribe you. I don't know how that happened, but make sure you're still subscribed to the channel if you want to be. So you sent this over to me earlier, Geeky from comicbook.com. Disney not planning another Marvel or Star Wars acquisition.
Level acquisition. Okay, well, first of all, let's look at this.
$1 billion.
So since Bob Iger came on like 16 years ago, he's been buying. And at first he went with Pixar, which, it made sense, okay, because they, it falls in the line with Disney. They paid $7.4 billion for Pixar in 2006. Then they bought Marvel, and they only paid $4 billion for Marvel. They paid $7.4 for Pixar.
Well, at the time, they had Iron Man came out. They had Thor came out because Paramount was doing the Marvel movies. And I think they saw the potential to make a bunch of money off the characters.
That's true. Okay, but $4 billion, that's it. And then, but they only paid $4.06 billion for Lucasfilm?
I think, well, given the state of Lucasfilm right now. But no, I think
that's because they're doing.
Yeah, George, as I understand it, now I don't know the details, but I think he had pretty fat stock options too, because he really Star Wars at its peak. It's like, look, a movie or two with the merchandise and the games. There's your $4 billion.
Oh, I'm sure they got their $4 billion back.
Yeah, I'm sure they got their $4 billion back by now. Even with, well, I don't know. There's some people who've mapped it out actually on YouTube. And they said, no, they've actually got years and years and years to go until they make that $4 billion back.
Because of what they're doing with the money, or?
Yeah, they said, I forget exactly what the reasoning was, but they're like, no, they're not.
It's just like Hollywood accounting, where the movie's never considered profitable, even if it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of which, you want to talk Hollywood accounting? I mean, that was one of the biggest examples of that was the Star Wars licensing, the royalties, because I think it was David Prowse who said he never got a nickel for any Darth Vader action figures because apparently Return of the Jedi never made any money according to Hollywood.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows how they're doing it? But I have heard that Disney is still technically in the hole on Star Wars, and they spent $1 billion on the park. They're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on each of the movies and the marketing, and we've got merchandise that's not selling, yada yada yada. So who knows?
You add those together and you're getting roughly $16 billion spent on Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. And then they turned around and bought 21st Century Fox for $71.3 billion. Now, I mean, I understand you get a lot of different IP with that, but it's not worth $71.3 billion, it was run up.
Yeah,
Which
Comcast.
is kind of funny, actually.
Comcast totally trolled them because originally they were going to pay I think it was like $40 or $50 billion for it.
I don't think it was even that high.
I didn't think it was that high. Then Comcast came in and they got into a bidding war. Comcast, I don't think had any legitimate interest. They had no interest in this.
Well, if they did, it was just to block them to keep some of their stuff or to trade, be like, hey, you can have this.
Well, Fantastic Four and X-Men, they wanted to keep, in the theme parks, they wanted to keep the Marvel characters in the theme parks.
Right, but even with Disney getting the rights for Fantastic Four and X-Men, that's an awful big movie to make $71.3 billion back. I'm just saying.
Yeah, this was, I see a lot of, a lot of different blogs. You've got the Motley Fool and some other financial blogs trying to justify, well, Disney's got, it's okay, they're gonna make all kinds of money because look at all the IP they bought. Well, here's the thing, they paid that much for Fox, but now they are doing some weird stuff and they're vaulting a lot of the Fox movies,
right?
Or they're talking about some really ill-conceived reboots.
Oh yeah, the reboots. Oh my god,
really god-awful reboots of classic Fox movies. They're
creatively bankrupt.
They are. They had 200 movies. Fox had 200 movies in development, and they shut them down. They shut 200 of these movies down. There's hardly anything is left. I mean, there are all kinds. Now, of course, James Cameron's Avatar will proceed.
Oh, and by the way, good news, if you like Avatar, it's going to be on launch day for Disney Plus on the 12th.
Yeah, because they own that now. And of course, they wanted that because of the theme parks. So they canceled a whole bunch of stuff. They're vaulting stuff. We'll talk a little bit about this and why Disney's their debt ratio just went through the roof when they bought.
They
Fox.
still aren't as in debt as some of the other companies. I think Comcast is worse.
Is actually worse. But Comcast, here's the thing: Disney's strictly entertainment. Comcast is entertainment plus telecommunications.
Mm-hmm.
Same with AT&T.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess I can understand a little bit more because they got the whole nother side of it. Whereas Disney is just strictly entertainment.
Well, they're probably vaulting this stuff because they're going to use it later on the Disney Plus streaming service, and that's probably what they're doing. Because I know a lot of movie theaters are complaining because they get the summer movies or the fall where you pay $3 for an older movie and popcorn or a kids movie or whatever, and they were going to be running things like The Sound of Music and stuff like that, and they were told they couldn't have it anymore because Disney says no. Yeah,
we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Let's see what Iger is saying about it. I think this is going to bite them hard. I really do. I think it was too much money.
Well, he's going to get away with it, but whoever comes in next is going to be up the creek,
Yeah, he's got his golden parachute ready. He's already got his book out. He's basically
now he's going to run for president.
Now he's going to run for president. I already feel like Bob Iger's basically retired. He's basically retired. He's just kicking back, collecting checks at this point. Because, I mean, obviously he was asleep at the wheel with Lucasfilm.
Mm-hmm. He was busy worrying about Fox.
Yeah, so here's what he said to the BBC Radio. Never say never when asked if he might broker another mega acquisition before the end of 2021. But I think given the fact that we've only recently made a big one with Fox, and we're still absorbing
you're going to be absorbing that for a long time. And I'm sure the shareholders said, hell no, no more money. No more.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. Q4 is going to be really interesting.
Well, the shareholder call is on the 7th, right?
Yes, it is.
So we're going to have lots of fun information soon.
We are going to have a lot of fun with that one. Get some popcorn. And given the facts that I don't have much time left in the role, it's probably unlikely that another big one occurs. Asked directly if Disney is currently eyeing any more purchases, Iger said no. When asked to explain why Iger's Disney made it a priority to make those mega acquisitions, Iger said all 4 cases arrived very opportunistically. Of course they did. We created a strategy when I became CEO, and that was to invest most of our capital in high-quality branded entertainment. The second was...
Which is going to ruin the parks with. That's another story entirely.
Yeah, and but what's the purpose of buying the stuff if you're going to flush it down the toilet, The second was to use technology to take it to the consumer in more relevant ways and use technology to make the product better.
Well, that's questionable.
Yeah, so we're looking to invest more in that direction. Pixar comes first, high-quality branded entertainment. Use of technology to make the product better, a brand that really mattered. Marvel came next and fit right in that same strategic vision, high-quality branded entertainment, great storytelling. Lucasfilm, same thing.
Look what they did with Lucasfilms. Well, according to Alan Horn, that Marvel, they do not believe there is going to be any brand fatigue with Marvel
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did say that, yeah.
if they're doing 3 to 4 movies a year, because they under his watch, they refuse to do anything that isn't funny and high quality and amazing and wonderful. Captain Marvel, which was, I won't say it was the worst movie, but it was just average.
It was average. It was very mediocre.
And they themselves just didn't do Spider-Man. But under his, they won't do anything that isn't the best ever. And we looked at what Phase 4 is going to bring, so yeah, even though all going to be very different from each other, he said. So
yeah, yeah, I don't know how many people are really going to care.
I think most people are like saying they're out. They're like, okay, I got through Endgame, I'm done.
Yeah, Tony Stark is gone. And all the characters I cared about these last 10 years, they're retired or dead. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they might get a bunch of new people that are into, the younger people coming up that might want to watch these movies. But the people that invested 10 years in it are kind of like,
Yeah.
And we see the slate coming up. You're like, well, Black Widow's already dead, so what's the point? And she can't use a gun, which is kind of dumb. That's what she did. And, Doctor Strange I'm still interested in.
Doctor Strange could be good.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, I have to see some stuff on that. I mean, they still said Thor is the main character, though. That's what he supposedly said.
That's what they say. That's what they say. Because if they said, something contrary to that now, there would be panic. There would be riots. They'll wait to just spring it on you.
Mm-hmm.
They'll spring it on you. Oh, by the way, we killed Thor. Jane Foster's Thor, and she's hooking up with Valkyrie. Mm-hmm. And
Captain Marvel's coming into it, and they're just gonna have like a sister wives situation, and they're just all gonna be the sister wives together.
The female Avengers are all gonna be very, very close, closer than Bruce Banner and Tony Stark ever were. So
that's right.
That's how that's gonna go. So yeah, I think basically Disney's running out of money. I really think they are. Now this is curious, and a lot of people asked us. They said, "What do you think about this?" We didn't do a video on it right away because I'm like, well, it doesn't surprise me.
No.
At all.
They're just going to use it. They're going to put it in the vault so that they can run them up and then do special editions and charge more, or make their typical reboot of something that's a live action reboot or some kind of reboot, re-movie, whatever stupidly creative bankrupt move they're going to make. And then, make sure you have, or go to Disney Plus and you have to watch it there.
That's what's going to happen. Yeah, they're going to vault. They're basically going to treat the Fox movies, especially the classics, like they do classic Disney movies. And they're going to create this, and they a lot of talk about it. They talk about it with the parks, with the marketing in the parks, the fear of missing out. Mm-hmm. They drive their, like I remember back in the day on VHS, it was a big deal when they released a Disney movie on VHS, but they made sure you knew it was only available from October to Christmas. And you better freaking buy that movie before it goes back in the vault.
Yeah.
And they'll only, but they
maybe unvault it every couple of years.
Yeah.
So
it's like I'm sitting here thinking about like Snow White, like how many, like Snow White and the Little Mermaid, how many different editions? They went from like the standard edition, then they had like the diamond edition, the platinum edition, the super deluxe signature edition. They bring it back out every 4 or 5 years. But back in the day when you had to buy physical media, it was like, oh my God, I better get this now or I'm never going to get it again.
Right.
And everybody fell for it. I mean, everybody had a shelf full of Disney movies,
Oh my gosh. And then VHS you can't even use anymore.
You can't even use VHS. So all those people paid all the money. I guess some of them are worth money now, but like all those people that rushed out to buy VHS because they had to, because, oh my God, if I don't buy this Little Mermaid VHS tape, I'm never going to watch The Little Mermaid again, ever.
We got most of ours. We got some we bought new, but most of our DVDs came from garage sales.
Yeah.
Remember we used to get Disney movies all the time at garage sales? And they'd have the points still in them and everything.
Oh, we used Pepsi points to buy a bunch too. But yeah, it created this false sense of urgency, and now like you can find Disney DVDs at any flea market. Nobody wants them. And especially with Plus coming out, that's what like, how is this going to work? Because they're going to have all these movies available on Plus. Are they going to like only be on there for a limited time? Because now people are going to be like, I'm not even going to bother buying the Blu-ray.
No, why would you?
Why would I? Why would I shell out $25-$30 for a movie when for $6.99 a month I can watch them all? Mm-hmm. So I hope they know what they're doing there. It's definitely going to kill off.
Oh, they're going to raise the price. I think it's going to be like a year and then they raise it.
Because HBO Max is coming in at like $15-$20 right out of the gate. But you see all the stuff they're bringing, especially if you're an anime fan, so it probably is going to be worth it compared to Disney Plus, just all Disney, all Marvel, all Star Wars. So not surprised at all they're doing this. they're going to push you to Disney Plus. But this was surprising. They came in and they're like, because I'm like, what did they buy exactly? What did they buy? They're like, because I'm thinking, well, they bought Fox. They've got, look at some of their classic Fox franchises. They're pretty much worthless now. The last Alien movie didn't do so hot. The Simpsons has been around for freaking ever, and it's still kind of popular.
If you want to see The Simpsons, you go to Universal. So
yeah, right. The Simpsons ride. But like, what do they buy? The X-Men movie is Fantastic Four. Like you said, they're not going to make $71 billion off of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. And I'm like, okay, well, they got a lot of movies in.
Well, here we go.
Development.
Disney Plus will get 4 big brands from Fox to adapt into straight-to-service content. Macaulay Culkin's holiday franchise Home Alone, Night at the Museum, Cheaper by the Dozen, and A Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Okay, so
you already ruined Diary of a Wimpy Kid with the last movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Pinky Boo was watching some YouTuber the other day talking about how god-awful the 4th Diary of a Wimpy Kid was. Do you really think another live-action Wimpy Kid is a good idea?
No.
So you paid $71 billion for Fox for a bunch of dead franchises, effectively. Because even X-Men, you've killed
X-Men. They're going to zap them with electricity and jolt them back to life with remakes.
God, I think that this was more about getting Fox off the chessboard, because every other major broadcaster was starting their own streaming service. And I think this is more about taking out Fox.
Well, I don't know if it was that so much as it was they could just take all their stuff and throw it on their Plus, and then have a bunch of content right off the bat. Yeah. And then look, we can. What would people like if we made TV shows up? I know, Cheaper by the Dozen.
Cheaper by the Dozen?
I know. Like,
of all the stuff you can reboot in the Fox library, this is what you go with: Cheaper by the Dozen, Night at the Museum, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they made a direct-to-TV. They made a couple direct-to-TV Home Alones. Now, the Christmas one wasn't bad, but the other one was trash.
And just like...
Why?
And they thought they'd get, I think, a couple things. They wanted the X-Men back, and they wanted the Fantastic Four back. And I think because Fox had the rights to the DVD versions of the original trilogy.
Yeah, well, yeah, that could be part of it, but you've already devalued Star Wars. This is what I'm talking about. This is...
Well, according to them, they didn't.
No, they did. Sorry.
According to the bank account and according to the fans, they did, but according to them, they didn't.
According to the shelves cluttered with unsold figures, according to the fact that Galaxy's Edge didn't drive attendance, according to Solo bombing at the box office, you spent $4 billion and you killed Star Wars. Like, what did you buy exactly?
But look, according to Deadpool 3 is reportedly in development at Marvel.
Well, there we go. Deadpool 3. That's your $71 billion. You're going to make it back on Deadpool. So, yeah. So anyway, if you're working in Hollywood, we know there are people working in Hollywood who watch this channel. You are safe. You're safe from Mickey's touch for now. But who knows who's going to replace Bob Iger, and the bad touch might begin.
I don't know if they're going to be able to. I think we haven't been able to absorb this yet. It's going to take them like a decade to absorb this, I think.
I think between the Fox acquisition, this is just personal opinion, conjecture, between the Fox acquisition and them spending a ridiculous amount of money on Disney Plus, this could be a huge blow to Disney.
Well, that and the park stuff, all the money they spent at the parks too. You gotta make, it's gonna take you forever to make this all up.
They're spending a lot of money thinking they're gonna make money back. This is why they're freaking out so much about the parks. This is why they're freaking out about movies, because they're not recouping their costs.
No, they greenlit all this and bought all this, and then they're not even talking about, like you said, I brought up the park expansions that he has approved, like so many of them, and they built went and built Shanghai, all this other stuff. There's a lot of things that it's going to take them a while to recoup all this money. I mean, it was like a spending spree. Yeah, I had that kind of piggy bank to go buy whatever the hell I wanted.
Well, that's what
investors' money.
Yeah, right. That's what it feels like. It feels like Bob Iger went on a 10-year-long spending spree, and whoever comes in after him is going to have to pay all the credit card bills with interest.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and it's going to be ugly, and I'm afraid if it's Bob Chapek, we're going to see budget cut Disney. We're going to
That's
see
what I'm
all
afraid of
kinds
too. It's like I'm excited about all the new stuff coming. I mean, I think the Guardians thing sounds cool. I still don't think it belongs in Epcot, and I'm not too keen on the Epcot reimagining. But like the Ratatouille thing looks pretty kind of cool. But I'm already hearing that's probably going to be exactly the same thing as France.
Yeah.
And Tron, really excited about Tron. I'm even excited about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But I'm worried at what we're going to get compared to what we were supposed to get.
Yeah, because we already saw the budget cuts firsthand with Galaxy's Edge, and I think we're going to see a lot of cuts because they got a lot of money to make up. They got a lot of debt, and they've had a couple movies bomb. I don't know.
Well, that's why we're getting all these new Alex and Ani Disney bracelets. They have to make up their money, and I'll give them money for that.
Bleed the parks. Pay for everything else. So, all right, we're gonna wrap this one up.
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on Clownfish TV. This has been Neon and Geeky.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.